Let's debate. All right, so 4 candidates left on the Republican B team. Extremely fiery debate. We've got all the highlights for you right here. Most of the focus up front on Nikki Haley. Let's get right into Nikki Haley.
You left government service in 2018 with just $100,000 in the bank. 5 years later, you're reportedly worth $8 million, thanks to lucrative corporate speeches and board memberships like you had with Boeing. Weeks ago, you met with Wall Street heavyweights, including leaders from JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and BlackRock.
In reference to donors coming on board, look, we will take support from anybody we can take support from. And in terms of these donors that are supporting me, they're just jealous. They wish that they were supporting them, but I'm not going to sit there and deny.
So kind of a sellout answer, and this is where Nikki Haley kind of distinguishes herself from an outside candidate such as Trump or Vivek. Now, the rest of the candidates aren't having it, and this is where the fireworks really begin. More fireworks in the middle and end of this video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Let's see the fireworks begin.
I want to go back, though, to Nikki Haley's comment from earlier that she is somehow not responding to the will of these donors. Nikki, you were bankrupt when you left the UN. After you left the UN, you became a military contractor. You actually started joining service on the board of Boeing, whose back you scratched for a very long time, and then gave foreign multinational speeches like Hillary Clinton is, and now you're a multimillionaire. That math does not add up. It adds up to the fact that you are corrupt.
All right, so there's no love lost between Nikki and Vivek. They've had tension throughout all the prior debates. This is just the beginning. Vivek hits her way harder than this coming up. Next, we have Ron DeSantis talking about the BlackRock thing. Let's check it out.
He wrote a book talking about ESG and these woke corporations and BlackRock. In Florida, they were managing our part of our pension. I took $2 billion away from BlackRock. And again, Nikki is meeting with all these people. Nikki will cave to those big donors.
And I love all the attention, fellas. Thank you for that.
Oh, pretty funny, Nikki. All right, now all the attention's on Nikki because she has been rising in the polls. I will admit I thought she underperformed in this debate a little bit. She usually performs much better. Ron DeSantis, who usually underperforms, did perform a little bit better in this debate. That was Ron DeSantis distinguishing himself, saying he's not a corporate sellout like he believes she is. Next, we get into Christie, which is the forgotten man. They didn't even ask him a question for the first 17 minutes of this debate. To be honest, I don't even think he should have been there. He did bring a lot of fireworks. Before he brings those fireworks, he gets into his Trump explanation. Let's check out the Trump explanation, and then all hell breaks loose. Let's check it.
You endorsed Donald Trump in 2016 and 2020. You gave him an A for his first term. Since then, however, you've turned on him, calling him a liar, a loser, a con man, and someone who cannot win.
So developed a little bit of TDS there.
You've even said that you got into this race just to stop President Trump. His approval rating with Republicans is currently at 81%. Yours is at 25%. Your best state is New Hampshire, and even there, 2/3 of GOP voters say they would be angry and disappointed if you won. And voters may wonder how you could possibly become the nominee of a party that does not appear to like you very much.
Yeah, well, look, Megan, it's often very difficult to be the only person on the stage who's telling the truth.
Okay, so the truth. You're going to hear that a lot from Christie, but keep in mind what you just said. He supported Trump in 2016 and even in 2020. But just recently developed that TDS.
The fact is that when you go and you say the truth about somebody who is a dictator, a bully, who has taken shots at everybody, whether they've given him great service or not over time, who dares to disagree with him, then I understand. But the fact of the matter is the truth needs to be told. I'm in this race because the truth needs to be spoken.
All right, so now we get into foreign policy, specifically Ukraine. Vivek goes after Nikki and Christie comes completely unglued.
One thing that Joe Biden and Nikki Haley have in common is that neither of them could even state for you 3 provinces in eastern Ukraine that they want to send our troops to actually fight for. Look at that. This is what I want people to understand. These people have, she has no idea what the hell the names of those provinces are, but she wants to send our sons and daughters and our troops and our military equipment to go fight it. So reject this myth that they've been selling you, that somebody had a cup of coffee stint at the UN and then makes $8 million after, has real foreign policy experience. It takes an outsider to see this through. Look at the blank expression. She doesn't know the names of the provinces.
Now, you have to admit he does have a point. At one point, she does try to recite the 3 provinces and gets them wrong. And this is where Christie's like a pit bull off a leash. Let's go.
You do this at every debate.
I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Don't interrupt me. I didn't interrupt you. Okay? You
say about how you want to send our kids to die.
You do this at every debate. You go out on the stump and you say something. All of us see it on video. We confront you on the debate stage. You say you didn't say it, and then you back away. And I want to
I'll
say
tell you
what.
exactly
No,
what I said, Chris.
I'm not done yet.
Well, this
now
is
look.
This is
on.
nonsense. This man is spewing. This man is spewing nonsense.
Let me tell you something. This is the fourth debate that you would be voted in the first 20 minutes as the most obnoxious blowhard in America. So shut up for a minute.
Now, this is where Papa John comes to the rescue to save Nikki. Then Vivek gives it back to Papa John. But I actually heard Nikki was offended, saying she could defend herself. Let's check it.
And he has insulted Nikki Haley's basic intelligence, not her positions, her basic intelligence. She doesn't know regions. She wouldn't be able to find something on a map that his 3-year-old could find. Look, if you want to disagree on issues, that's fine. And Nikki and I disagree on some issues. But I'll tell you this, I've known her for 12 years, which is longer than he's even started to vote in a Republican primary. This is a smart, accomplished woman, and you should stop insulting her.
Here we go with Vivek.
First of all, Christie also doesn't know what provinces in eastern Ukraine he actually wants us to fight for. Chris, your version of foreign policy experience was closing a bridge from New Jersey to New York.
Yeah.
So do everybody a favor, just walk yourself off that stage, enjoy a nice meal, and get the hell out of this race.
You blowhard. No, you go eat a donut and go home. Welcome to the presidential debate, ladies and gentlemen. Fireworks like we promised, but we're saving the best for last. Now, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button up here, and let's keep going. So now we get into the border, and Ron's got a familiar tune. Then in just a few minutes, we see Christie foaming at the mouth over Trump.
All across the southern border, which I support, this would not have happened. We need to build a wall across the southern border. I'll get it done. There's going to be a new sheriff in town, and these drug cartels better buckle up.
So Ron's going to build a wall. Now, Haley's take on the border. Now, she gets into fentanyl, then flips it to China.
When you talk about fentanyl like you did before, let's go to the heart of the matter. It came from China. That's why we need to end all normal trade relations with China.
So there's Nikki saying she's going to be tough on China. Here's Ron's checkmate.
Because when she was governor of South Carolina, she was the #1 ranked governor of bringing the CCP into her state. She wrote a love letter to the Chinese ambassador saying how great a friend China is. There's also a video of her as governor standing in front of a Chinese flag with a Chinese business saying that she now works for them, talking about this Chinese company. Her donors, these Wall Street liberal donors, they make money in China. They are not going to let her be tough on China, and she will cave to the donors. She will not stand up for you.
First of all, he's mad because those Wall Street donors used to support him, and now they support me.
Oh, we've already heard that one, Nikki.
I banned China from buying land in the state of Florida.
So Ron actually having accomplished something against China in the state of Florida. Let's go to the next clip. Hey, nice face, Ron. Hey, this is where Ron actually shines a little bit. In this next part, he talks about what he'd do about student loans. And I actually agree with this.
I don't support having a truck driver having to pay a student loan for someone that got a degree in gender studies. That is wrong. We should not have taxpayers do that. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to get to the root cause of the problem. These student loans are going to be backed by the universities because they need to have an incentive to produce gainful employment for people.
All right, now why this is a good idea is because if the government wasn't writing the checks for student loans and the universities had to do it, they might not be incentivized to raise their tuitions by so much. Next, Ron talks about blue-collar work, and I like this part too.
And we're going to take some of this money, and we're going to move it to actual vocational training. In Florida, we doubled apprenticeships. We have more truck drivers. These are in-demand skills. Don't let anybody tell you that the only way you can be successful is through a 4-year brick and ivy degree. That's one way you can be. It's not the only way, and we're going to fix that problem in the United States of America.
All right, good job, Ron. All right, so here's another good idea by Vivek, and then we get into Christie foaming at the mouth.
End of year 1, we will have a 75% reduction in the number of federal bureaucrats. We will shut down government agencies that should not exist. These are seismic changes.
Smaller government sounds good to me. Now here's where Ron and Christie get into it.
You seem to be saying Donald Trump is no longer mentally fit to be president. Is that what you think?
Father Time is undefeated.
So Ron falls short of calling Trump unfit, basically just saying we need a younger president and one that can serve 2 terms. And this just sparks off Christie's TDS.
The question was very direct. Is he fit to be president or isn't he? The rest of the speech is interesting, but completely non-responsive. Is he
don't
fit?
like- you
Is
have
he
your-
fit?
you have
no.
your thing.
Is he
You
fit
have
or
your
isn't he?
thing.
No, I don't have my thing.
We don't-
He's the thing. Is
We
he
do
fit
not
or
want
isn't
to
he?
do someone
You're
that's
talking about him
almost
being
80.
80 years
It
old.
doesn't mean
Ron,
that somebody
is he
couldn't
fit?
get elected.
He's afraid to answer.
No, I'm not.
You have to
No.
either you're afraid or you're not listening.
No.
So Christie's definitely got a thing. I mean, he must have wanted that job from Trump real bad. Here's Vivek setting them all straight.
Is all three of them have been licking Donald Trump's boots for years for money and endorsements. Ron DeSantis, you've been a great governor, but you would have never been one without actually begging Donald Trump for that endorsement.
And you attacked him in your book a year ago.
Same thing with Christie as a lobbyist, begging them for COVID money for his special interests in New Jersey, prepping him for the debates last time around. These people are now Monday morning quarterbacking some decision he made.
Go Vivek. I mean, you gotta admit everything he's saying right there was true, but Vivek is not done yet. He's gotta take one more blast at Nikki.
And Nikki Haley's campaign launch video sounded like a woke Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light ad talking about how she would kick in heels.
So did he just call her Dylan Mulvaney? Wait, there's one more.
You have a corruption problem, and I think that that's what people need to know. Nikki is corrupt. This is a woman who will send your kids to die so she can buy a bigger house.
Governor Haley, would you like to respond?
No. It's not worth my time to respond to him.
You have been using identity politics at every step.
All right, so pretty classy response from Nikki, but hey, do you think Vivek thinks she's corrupt? That's the debate. Check out this video up here. We got crazy shorts every single day. Make sure you check those out. Subscribe. Peace.